of these so-called pro-black, pro-Africa guys and females are mentally ill. Okay, so I made this post last night, explaining to my people that the Australoid and the so-called Negroid looked very similar in feature. They had very similar looks, features, and hair textures at one point in time, but a lot of interbreeding went on with the European with the Australoid. So a lot of indigenous Australians have just straight hair now, but the Papua New Guineans, they still retain their curly, coarse afro. They still have their coarse hair that resembles, African or Afro, indigenous hair. So, yeah, I reposted this, and then some troll started just laughing at it. This girl named Tina. I was like, this is an astroloid, not an African, because I was assuming that, because I had like two different pictures up. And I was thinking that she assumed that this was an African versus astroloid. No, I was just telling her, no, those were both astroloid pictures, and these, their features vary. They could have a big broad head with a big broad brow bone, or they could have slim, skinny faces. Their facial structures may vary, just like they like to talk about how the phenotypes vary in Africa and all that. Well, with this group, that is also the case, okay? And there are still dark-skinned indigenous people that live in the Asian forests, so yeah. And a lot of these Australoids, they do not believe in the out of Africa theory. They have their own creation theory, which is the dream time theory, which states that they were created on their land, and they've been there since the time of creation. Like, their creator dreamed them into existence onto their land. And that's what the Dreamtime creation story state. So, hold on. Let me go back to the post I made. Now, this is the only proof we have of out of Africa. Okay, this is the only proof that the scientists have is the remains, the little monkey hip bone leg of this primate named Lucy. Okay, they say that all of us come from Lucy, and this is the first human, which is supposedly the African woman, and they found these remains in Ethiopia. Okay, this is what we are all taught in elementary, middle, and high school. I remember being taught this first, actually, in 5th grade, and after that, we learned about the out of Africa theory, and that we are all the same, so-called African, so-called European, so-called Asian. We are all the same people. That's what we're taught in these schools, and that we come from this thing here. And my people took it and ran with it, and this is what gives them pride. This is what gives them confidence. This is what empowers them, and this is what the pro-black, pro-African movement is built around. This theory right here. And then this low IQ troll said that I need science, and I was like, this is literally what they teach in every school in the Western world. This is the shit that empowers you. And then I, mocked him. You were the first, face ass. Because that's how you joke. Not knowing that you're saying you're part of the less evolved race. Okay? You were the first. That's not a great thing to be when the main thing that's being taught is evolution. Okay? You don't want to be the first on the evolution on that line. Okay, that means you're not evolved. Okay, and then this person who's a bigger troll talking about ridiculously done, no science, and what? And then look at these retards. They no science book, really? Okay, no book on the planet claims that humans come from monkeys. It's nobody's fault that you think of a monkey when you look in the mirror. Leave Africans out of your self-hate. This is what I said here. Why do we all have to believe that we are African and come from this creature, huh? They really want us to believe we all have the same mtDNA, mitochondria DNA, and that this thing was gang-banged by multiple male apes, which created the different races. Y'all say I hate myself because I refuse to believe their history and their sciences. So if I say I'm a monkey and I'm African, even though my ancestors was born here and been here since forever, because I have census records that prove that my ancestors been here since the time they started taking census records, and they wasn't putting that they were Negro, black, colored on the census records, and they did not put that they were servants to anybody. And they owned their own land. And I have the census records to prove that. But y'all won't take the time out to pull your family's census records. Instead, you'll just take a quick little DNA test so they can give you this piece of paper that shows where your DNA may have came from. You know, they give you different spots, like different little African countries that your DNA may have came from, and then they say that you have a sprinkle of European and a sprinkle of Native American in there too, huh? Which these DNA tests, these 21andMe DNA tests, the Ancestry DNA tests have been debunked, proven that they are hoaxes, okay? And even the creators of these said tests came out and told the public to only use these for entertainment purposes only. They're only supposed to be used for entertainment purposes only, but you low IQs take these tests and then just believe everything on this paper to be 100% fact, when they only can test 0.01% of your mitochondrial DNA and pull from that what you might be. It's not much DNA they are evaluating there. It's only 0.1%. Okay? So how from this here, he say, it's nobody's fault that I think I'm a monkey? When I look in the mirror, I don't, actually. That's why I don't follow I'm not a part of that pro-black movement. I do not worship people just because they have dark skin. Like, there's no reason why we should be worshiping each other if we haven't built for ourselves in over 100 years. Or tried to separate and do our own little sovereign thing. We're still serving them. We're still working in their system. And we're still following orders. We're not creating for ourselves. No Africans in Africa are governing themselves. And we definitely don't have a sovereign territory in America at this point. So, yeah, we got a lot of things to work on before calling ourselves gods and kings and queens. We can't stay stuck in the so-called past and with their history they give us. I mean, come on. So I gave him proof that yes, they teach this in public school, but obviously this creature right here did not want to click the link, and he just kept on. Okay, so you're really just going to come here and shitpost. I tagged you because I wanted an actual intellectual debate, but this guy came here and shitposted because this is a whole lie. Talking about ridiculously dumb, no science book on the planet claims that humans come from monkeys. So anybody who see this video, please write Omar Pierce and show him all the proof that this is being taught in our schools, and this is linked to the out of Africa theory, because apparently him and 3 other retards do not know that out of Africa and Darwinism go hand in hand. Okay, so please, those of you who see this on BitChute, contact these people and let them know that out of Africa and Darwinism go hand in hand, and they can't take the out of Africa theory without the science that come along with it. You can't just say, oh yeah, I'm the first, but reject the science that come with it. He said, you take me, moron. Are you illiterate? Nothing in publication remotely implies that humans come from monkey. You raving imbecile. Get an IQ test. Shaquita. When he's the one who needs the IQ test. Click the damn link, you monkey. You say you are a monkey every day when you claim that you are the first. And you come from Lucy. And you come from Africa. And that everyone comes from Africa, because that is the out of Africa theory. So you need the IQ test because you won't let go of this theory.